Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking a little Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want to talk about Drew Sidora. I want to talk about, is she being phased out of the show? Is she being phased out of Real Housewives of Atlanta? Is season 16, Sweet 16, her last season, you guys? I just have questions. I haven't watched the past couple of episodes. It's just been a lot going on, but I've been seeing clips of here and there of like interviews and different things that are going on. And I've noticed a couple of things as it pertains to Drew Sidora, right? One, I've noticed in some of the episodes when I was watching that she was it felt like she was being phased out. Like sometimes she was barely getting a segment. Or there was like one episode where the only time Drew was featured was in a group segment with the other ladies, right? So that was when I started to perk up. I'm like, I don't know if she's coming back, because the bulk of this season was really about this Drew, Portia, Dennis stuff. But really, it's being engineered by Portia, right? And also, by extension, Shamia and others. But nonetheless, it snowballed into all these things. And then we're getting snippets here and there about Drew's divorce with Ralph. But we're getting that like on the back end, right? Next, Bravo has a certain circuit of interviews that they want the housewives to do, right? So approved media outlets to do interviews, right? So like The Breakfast Club, like Way Up with Angela Yee, with that Page 6, that tea room thing, that there's like a whole like list, like I think like Cosmopolitan, GQ, Entertainment Tonight, just like they have like a whole circuit of different press that you have, right? And I believe there's even a podcast that Bravo has as well, that sometimes they'll incorporate certain housewives and things, because there's a certain round, Sherry Shepherd, The View, you'll see who Portia did interviews with, who Shamia did interviews with, and who Phaedra now they're doing interviews with, and Cynthia Bailey, that they pushed out in this whole circuit, right? Now, then, as far as Drew Sidora goes, we've had Watch What Happens Live, right? Watch What Happens Live is usually where they bring in people from the show, right? And so Portia this season has been on twice. Shamia has been on twice. Kelly has been on twice, and everything else. And we've seen Cynthia on there. We've seen Angela Oakley on there. We've even seen Britt Eady on there, you guys. No Drew Sidora. There was a Housewives fan page that tried to make the allegation that Drew Sidora, that it was quote unquote a scheduling conflict. But how is it a scheduling conflict, but you have time to do an interview with Carlos King? Something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean, y'all. Shout out to Phaedra. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I find it interesting as well, because Kenya did an interview with Carlos King, and Drew Sidora has done an interview with Carlos King. Now, although Cynthia has done an interview with Carlos King, I don't think that is as big as a deal breaker, because she's only a friend of this season and everything else. So it's not going to cause like major issues or major controversy. But there was rumors, some people had some issues with some of the comments that Kenya made on her interview with Carlos King that she did a while back. And then for Drew to do this interview with Carlos King, it felt like she was trying to set herself up for whatever the next thing was. For whatever next thing, to still get herself out there, to still promote herself, to still promote the show, but you're doing it via Carlos King, right? And we haven't seen... Carlos is practically begging Portia to be on his platform, to do an interview with him and everything else. And so still to this, she hasn't. We'll see whether or not she does. She may have to ask permission from Bravo if it's cool or not, because, you know, Portia was like, oh, I will if you subscribe. And then here comes Carlos King. Oh, I'll create 100 accounts and subscribe to your channel. No. What? No. But then the other piece, right, is I saw a tweet last night about the show, about the episode, where I guess a comment or something was made that everybody has an issue in the group with Drew Sidora, but Angela Oakley, and I was confused. I was confused because I'm like, well, technically Phaedra just got there. So why would she have an issue with Drew Sidora? That doesn't make any sense. And really the issue at hand started with Portia and Drew Sidora, right? They're the only ones with an issue. However, because Shamia cannot decide if 1 minute Portia's not her friend or the next minute she is being what Drew Sidora calls her, aka a lapdog, now, you know, Shamia is engineering all this stuff. It was Shamia that engineered in that episode in the very beginning, you know, put out the rumor about there that you know, Dennis and Drew were matching at some nightclub and that there was something more than friendship going on and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then Shamia wants to own the fact that she engineered the sit down with Ralph and with Portia, right? And she claims that she wanted to have a witness there to talk about doing a podcast, but she also was there to be messy and to get tea on Drew Sidora. And so therefore you needed Portia there, of course, to add on to the messy component of it all, where she's asking just all types of questions that have nothing to do with anything other than to specifically be messy about Drew Sidora, right? And so nonetheless, you have that going on, right? Kelly, I don't think has a real issue with Drew Sidora. I think she's just piggybacking off of Shamia since that's her new best friend. And I don't think Britt has a real issue with Drew Sidora, other than her real issue is with Angela Oakley. But we all saw what happened when they tried to go toe-to-toe at that Juneteenth at Lake Bailey. And Angela said that she had stretch marks around her mouth and miles on her mouth and all this other stuff. So she's going to latch on to this Drew thing because they feel like Drew is an easy target. Don't be surprised if Drew Sidora, y'all, hopefully she's not the last chair, because usually if you're like the last chair, that's not a good sign on reunion stages. It could mean that, you know, you could be on the way out or whatever else. So keep in mind on what the seating placement is going to be for the reunion. I am, you know, interested to see how that's going to go, how you're going to go from first chair to last chair. But I just don't think the network is feeling her. I don't think the network is feeling her. Yeah, she's being talked a lot about in regards to this Dennis thing and any other rumors of anybody else that she's dating, but I think she might be on her way out. It seems like the cast, really the only person that genuinely seems to like her is Angela Oakley. And then I thought it was a mistake on Carlos King. I don't like in these interviews where they're like, who do you think should be fired? Who do you think should be come back? When your job's on the line. See, a lot of people think Portia's job's on the line, but people keep forgetting Portia signed a production deal with NBC, with Peacock and everything else. So they're going to make her work. Whether it is the Traitors, whether it is some other reality show, they're going to put Portia to work. So you have to look at other avenues, and the avenue that is the obvious cut would be Drew Sidora. That would be the obvious person that would be on the chopping block as it stands right now, because maybe they feel that Drew's not giving enough, or maybe, and production's been super messy with Drew this season as far as the number of times that they have caught her in different lies and in different fibs that she is told. So that could be a sign as well that they may be, trying to, check her out of here. So we'll keep an eye on it. But what do you guys think? Like I said, she hasn't been doing the traditional Bravo press circuit. She has not been on Watch What Happens Live at all. The only main interview she's done some podcast interviews, and she did the interview with Carlos King. And then it seems like the group as a whole, they're just piggybacking off of Portia and latching on to this thing with this, this Dennis thing and Drew thing. But I feel like it's not even, they don't even really care about it. I just think they want Drew off the show. I think they realize trying to take down Portia is the thing with Portia. It's a love-hate relationship the fans have with her. So nonetheless, it's not, they feel like Drew is an easier target. And the other thing is Portia's not giving them what they want to justify a traditional takedown. They're going to attempt it though at this reunion. But nonetheless, they weren't anticipating Phaedra though. They did not include Phaedra in the equation to come in at the end of the season to try to save as what she calls the Titanic. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.